right. Decided to throw a live game in here because why not? But why isn't it starting? And looks like I'm part of the Thanos snap for a second there. So as long as it's just the shirt crackling, I don't think it's... I never have any idea what my camera's going to do or how it's going to act. Oh, okay, here we go. A bit of d4, shall we? You know what? Knight f3. Bit more solid, get rid of some of the sidelines. I do not believe we have an Exchange Slav, so I am going to go with that because it is ridiculously solid, and it's typically what you don't want to see if you're playing black, just in general. And normally they go bishop g4. Mixing and matching a bit, typically not a good idea. I'm going to go knight e5 to see if I can't take on c6, which could make a weakness there. And if he does something like bishop d7, I'll still let it sit. All right, we're able to make a weakness pretty clean. And now I'm going to go bishop d3 to just give one more layer of protection to e4. Then I'm thinking about rook c1, knight a4, knight c5, blockade that weakness. I don't really care about losing the b because I have that to focus on. He probably needs to go e5. I'm satisfied. You got the bishop pair, but pawn weaknesses. It's a game, but I prefer my position. Key squares. I want to play b3 or rook c2, depending upon what he does. b3 it is. Full flexibility. Can double rooks on the c-file, which will elect to take that option because he could potentially go to a3. All right, that was somewhat expected. And I'm going to go here first to try to provoke that, and I'll go to rook d1 if he goes there. And if there, we'll just do that. Again, bishop a3 is met by rook d1, and I'm looking at knight c5. Well, I will have queen f1 if you do that. But friendo, what if I look to make a change this way? How do you feel about this position? And time is not going to be your friend the more the game goes along. I can promise you that. And I expect bishop d6 because it's an automatic, like, oh, I'm attacking something. Bishop d5 because I'm attacking something. I'm going to go queen c5. Knight b6 is also an idea. And like I said, he doesn't have a clear plan, so it's going to get harder and harder for him to come up with something coherent here. until eventually he just does something stupid. That's an idea with a knight on c5. Also, if I take on d7, that falls. Let's go ahead and force you right on back, shall we? And it seems like you had a bit of a problem there, eh? Bishop d6, b4. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And knight b3, knight d4 to go after the c-pawn, and this is where he flags. Okay. Relatively straightforward game. Not all absolutely dry, boring positions. Have to be perfectly symmetrical and all that. I mean, my opponent at least tried to win. And by that, I mean he didn't just play copycat. And h3 makes a lot of sense. I try not to ever make that move unless I have to. But now, okay, there's actually a rationale for playing bishop e2 versus bishop d3. That rarely happens. Bishop e2 to stop knight h5. Or bishop e5 to stop it. So, Engine liked me making him pay for it instead of getting to this position where he's got the bishop pair. And he likes the bishops a bit better. Fair enough. I felt very comfortable because this is a pawn structure you play against frequently in the Tarrasch, as well as colors reversed when I take on c3 in the Alpine Sicilian. I get this pawn structure a lot. And it's a level of comfort when playing against it. I didn't want to play knight c5 too quickly because I knew he would trade in a heartbeat. And I felt that keeping complications would be better. Found the best move with queen f3 and queen f4. And like queen h4. Why is rook b4 so good? Ah! Because the rook is in the attack now. Completely oblivious to that. And so is my opponent. So, yeah. I've been in search of actually playing decent chess, and missing those types of ideas just won't do. But then, and then h4 again. Like, yeah, even on the last move, when I'm like, yeah, knight d4, he doesn't have anything. I'm not even considering attacking possibilities, but the bishop's on a good square, queen's on a good square. If it gets there, you know, you get mated. Can't really get mated. Not fun. Don't do that to yourself. So what I thought was a pretty reasonable game was actually just doo-doo. Maybe I'll do better next time.